Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your DJ.
You always want to be enough?
Always. You always want to be enough.
What's up, guys?
I was raised in a foster home in my church. When I was 18, I went to the monastery, but I left with my parents. I've known no other life, and I haven't wanted to.
Okay, so the last thing possible. You did the characters first.
I'm Bud from Inside the Whale.
M. John Speedway, Kit Hawks, what's up?
She's not going on this now. Not even a little thing. That's it.
Yellow-Eyed Canine. Legacy Media. Those of you who are on my El Jefe 2.0, come to El Jefe. Nuckin, what's up, Spirit? M, you're on El Jefe 2.0. So isn't John Speedway. And CC. Silk City Sentinel, I am in Tennessee. Nightcrawler, what's up? Pamela, hello from Georgia. Yeah, Donkey Watch. You guys all come to my main channel, please. FTP, Christy Love. Please join my main channel. Christy Love's from Middle Tennessee. Nice. Oops, I didn't mean to delete that. I meant to make unhide. Sorry about that, Christy. Yes. No, main channel is not 2.0. The main channel is El Jefe. This is my backup channel. 2.0 is my backup. So please come to my main channel. Hello, Teresa. Suspicious, you're on my main channel. You're good. Thanks, Road. It's kind of hard doing both channels because people go over there and I can only see comments on StreamYard, not my regular chat. It's kind of crazy. No problem, Christy. My two Beagles, what's up? Make sure you guys hit that like button. Yeah, that quilt was made by my girlfriend's grandmother, right?
I don't know if that one was made by her or if it was made by her friend Pauline.
It's very old. She was born in 1912?
1915.
1915. It's a very old quilt. Thank you, Teresa. It is nice. I don't know if you guys can get a better picture of it.
We can get it down and open it up.
No.
You could take the flag down.
It's got butterflies attached to it and everything.
Grandma loves butterflies. That's why I got a monarch tattooed to my arm.
Anyone want to join in?
She lived to be not quite 100 years old.
No, she turned 101.
Oh.
She turned 100. We celebrated her 100th birthday.
Yes, she did not make it 100.
She was just about 101. It was like up 2 months, 3 months before her birthday.
Yeah, she died right after Easter.
How you doing, Auditron? Spirit said hi, Miss El Jefe.
Hi, Spirit. Bloody Mary.
What's up, Sasquatch?
What's up?
Just like
How you doing?
what do you think I learned?
Oh, much more fun. I'd probably get arrested.
I bet.
I just got my Discord channel figured out. I'm actually smarter than I look sometimes.
You got your own Discord channel?
Yeah.
The average bear.
Cool. What's up, Auditron?
Happy Fuck the Cops Day.
Ooh. And you gave him that whole finger, too. Not
Dude,
just,
El Jefe, you fucking rock.
not just like, not half of
Love
a
you,
finger.
bro.
Not half of it. You gave him that whole ugly one. That's nice.
That car was registered.
Here's what half of my finger looks like. All right.
Jeez, man.
Y'all crazy. Anyway.
You crazy.
Hey, Sasquatch, what's up, baby? I mean, Major. I'm not saying baby anymore. What's up, Major?
Yeah, you can't say. I thought you weren't going to say baby anymore.
I'm trying not to.
Major? No, I wasn't a major. No, I'm just chilling, man. Watching TV and playing on the interwebs and talking on Discord. And, yeah.
Discord me up, why don't you? Hey, El Jefe. Joe Cool said he didn't coin the word baby, so we're all good. I can say baby anytime I want.
There you go.
Hey, no.
Okay. Who's that?
Baby, what's your
Oh, is that your girl?
Yeah, she said, "Don't call Northern woman baby. You'll get your
rocks knocked off."
rocks knocked off."
Okay.
Is that a Northern girl thing? They don't like to be called baby.
Man, that sounds serious.
You can do it in the South, but don't do it in the North.
Hey, man, this sucks. You're on here and we can't type in the live comments.
You should be able to.
I'm on my home computer and I can't do it.
I set the settings for guests, and it says guests see viewer comments. It should be able to.
Well, I can see the viewer comments. I just can't type them.
You don't have a second device?
No, I got a Apple computer, an iMac.
You can't open a StreamYard on a cell phone, but you can. If somebody has a StreamYard open on a laptop, you can come in on a cell phone. So you can come in if you only had your cell phone right now. Yes.
No, I'm on my home computer on StreamYard.
No, I was talking to somebody in chat.
Well, anyways, you can copy paste it, can't you?
Copy and paste what?
My
Yeah, put it in private chat.
my Discord link.
What's up, Ed Ramirez? So here is Sasquatch's Discord link. There you go.
Man, that camera's close.
Hi there, Nuckin. I don't know. I gotta see if anyone's over on my other channel still. Marine Vet Mom, you're on the wrong channel. You gotta come to my regular El Jefe. But I see you over there. That's the bad thing about running two channels. You can't see chat on both. AJK Banks, my buddy.
Hi, AJK Banks.
How you doing, man?
Ooh, that was nice of him. $50.
He's an awesome man.
Thanks for being willing to help him get to Texas. Sorry it didn't work out.
Morning or afternoon, Emma, or night, Emma. Phil from High Desert Community Watch sent me. Thanks for coming, man. You gotta come to my main. Whoa,
Main me up, why don't you?
Southern
Is that M-A-N-E or M-A-I-N?
Southern Fisherman coming.
You guys, everyone go to El Jefe's main channel. If you go to his main channel, which is maney as fuck, if you have never been there before, it's hella maney. Just saying.
Right?
Go support. Get your ass over there.
Hey, pet that dog.
How you doing, Caitlin? Yeah, we got to try to keep it PG-13 tonight, guys.
Oh, man, that sucks. You know what? You're right. My bad. Please hit me. Thank you.
Oh, that's a much better picture of me.
Yo, El Jefe, I'll just be creeping, lurking. Talk to you soon, okay, bud?
All right, man.
Appreciate you. Yeah, bye, Sasquatch. Oh, by the way, real quick message for Sasquatch. Do you like all natural soaps and conditioners for your hair and body?
I use
Because if you do, then basically you should check out. I think there's this like thing called Sasquatch or whatever like that. They have all natural body like soaps and stuff, you know, that you might like. Like, I'm getting hella fucking advertisements from them, so I might as well pitch you with it too. I'm like a salesman for them. What?
Hey,
I never use soap. I don't even wash with my body at all. Actually.
Hey,
I let the rain do it.
that
I
is
use
my
sand
daughter.
and leaves.
She's not 18. She's 17. That's my daughter.
That's what I use out of
I can't leave yet. You use what?
Sand and leaves.
Sand and leaves.
Yep.
Okay.
Can't get more natural than that.
Damn. Hey, you know what? I honor you for that. I was thinking I might actually smell a little bit like dirt, and if I use sand and leaves.
Hey, I used to throw dirt for a living, so it's not that bad.
I don't use soap. They said you're 18? I don't know.
Oh, look, this car, this private automobile, he's like, oh no, I don't want to come out because his second son, he got his camera, he's going to film my license plate. Oh no.
Rob, what's up, man?
Oh, maybe he forgot his fucking donuts and shit.
Hey, Rob C., come to my main channel, please. Southern Fisherman, come to my main channel. So what's everybody up to tonight? Hey, Holbrook is my last name, and that is my daughter. She is allowed to be here. Just saying.
But she is not above age.
But she's still allowed to be here. Yes, thank you, Road. I know you guys don't know my last name, but that is my last name, and that is my 17-year-old daughter.
So be appropriate with our children,
She probably swears more than we do.
probably.
So, Auditing, when did you start your Discord?
What the fuck? What are you talking about? Okay, I know. I don't have a Discord.
I meant Sasquatch, sorry.
Okay.
It started now.
I mean, when did you start it? Did you start it today?
Yesterday and today.
Nice.
I'm computer illiterate pretty much. So
More Discords getting taken down? Is that why you're starting one too?
no, I just figured I'd start one.
Nice.
I mean, why not? I'm on the bandwagon.
Yeah, there's too many Discords. I just got to stop going to them. I haven't been to them in a while.
Well, there's a lot of great conversations that go on, you know, and there's some drama and shit that shows up from time to time, but mostly it's pretty good conversations, and you know, you get to talk with your friends and stuff, and I like it. I mean, it ain't what everybody says it is it?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
I mean,
No,
they definitely check people out. You know, if you say something, they definitely check it out.
What's up, Hot Rod? What's up, Docs?
What's
up,
up?
guys?
What up, what up, what up?
Just watching LSU beat the shit out of Georgia.
Oh, yeah?
That's not a bad thing.
What's the score?
27-3.
That's a butt whooping.
Yep. It's on commercial right now. Which,
Yeah,
the only good game today has been Oklahoma.
my birthday's in, what, less than 2 weeks? Getting old. What's up, Anon?
Yeah, I said hello too.
PG Rider, what's going on? So, we're trying to look up a case law for this chalk stuff that happened yesterday, and it says that governments can restrict the use of chalk on public property.
Peachy Rider.
El Jefe, I think the reason why that's possible is because it comes down to an inconvenience. If they have to spend any type of money, like say whatever water bill, you know what I'm saying, is necessary to clean it up, or whatever like employee bill, you know, it just comes down to loss, property loss. You know what I mean? So which equals damages. Hold on one sec. But yeah, it's basically. What's that?
Can't they wait until it rains?
That's a good question. Actually, when I chalked in Elkhart, it was snowing, and we chalked, and the next day, I think that 2 days later, it was completely gone.
Well, not if they want the charges to stick. They won't wait for the rain.
But
I mean,
yeah, I think in Texas,
they'll watch that off. So,
well, let me ask you, El Jefe, why didn't Elkhart criminalize me and Just a Little Jaded when we went and did that there? If it's illegal.
I have no idea. AJK, yes,
I have a small idea.
Hold on. AJK, yes, we can swear. I don't think that's in the. I think if we swear, it has to be rated for over 18, and it won't be monetized. That's all.
I just wonder about all of the things that get written in chalk. You know, university students do it, places do it for advertisements. I mean, kids do it in fun. You know, what makes the amendment community all of a sudden, why is it a criminal activity all of a sudden when you guys do it?
Tuck Suck, what's up, buddy?
because of what we say on it, I think.
I like that. Who's talking?
That's my girlfriend.
Oh, your girlfriend. Okay. Good point. Yeah, you know what? They try to separate the freedom of expression from the conduct-based regulation, and the reason why they do that is because the courts give them more leeway. In other words, they have a lower level of scrutiny that they have to determine the constitutionality of the agency's action. If they use a conduct-based regulation, this is how constitutional law works from my understanding. If it's a conduct-based regulation versus or a content-based, content versus conduct, it's super important. If it's a content-based regulation, and then they have to use a higher level of scrutiny because they're dealing with an expression. It could be a freedom of expression or whatnot. But when you're dealing with like that type of regulation that deals directly with conduct, like criminal mischief, and trying to say that chalking is criminal mischief, you could probably win with that as an argument as a prosecutor, but not if the allegations were timed so closely to an expression, you know what I mean, a constitutional expression which was guaranteed under the Constitution. Timing is everything. That's exactly. Timing is everything, exactly.
Well, time, place, and manner, and whether or not it's a traditional public forum. And I guess the lot there in front of the courthouse is not a traditional public forum.
Yeah.
What do you mean traditional? I've never heard of that. Do you mean it's not a true public forum?
I'm not sure exactly how it's worded. I've heard it worded traditional public forum, i.e. sidewalk.
I hear what you're saying. What he's saying is that the front area of the courthouse that in Rockwall is not a true public forum. It's limited. It's a public forum, but it's limited. It's been designated for specific governmental purposes. People can come in there freely, when they have particular business with the court or whatnot. You know what I mean? But typically speaking, it's not a true public forum like a sidewalk is. You know what I mean? So I think that might be the fine line that they're trying to use, to say, oh no, you're not in a true public forum, so you can't do that here. This is private property, yada yada yada. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm sorry.
We're talking
one at a time, people. One at a time.
If they wrote "I love cops," it would have been a different story.
Right. So even though it's a sidewalk that was paid for by the American citizens, it's not something that you can express through speech. It just doesn't make any sense, even though anybody can write in chalk.
Oh my God!
I don't know. I think it's a twist. It's just like we can twist any other law.
There's another thing that comes into play too, and that's the discretion of the officer.
Right.
Like some kid dropping off the sidewalk, they could get her for the same thing that they got those guys for. Because I guess chalking is illegal down here in Texas. But it's up to the discretion of the officer whether or not he wants to ticket a 4-year-old playing hopscotch on the sidewalk.
All right, let me ask this: Did the guys get arrested for the chalk or the language that they wrote with the chalk?
They didn't get arrested for the chalk. What did the officers say they were getting arrested for?
The language, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was because of what they were writing.
No,
exactly. It's the reason being is.
Hold on.
Right.
Okay, well that's different then, right? I mean, now we're talking about content. See, if it's a content thing, not a conduct thing, that's different, right, brother? Well, no. Tell me, what do you mean?
Get arrested for?
It's for criminal mischief.
Okay, look that up.
Yeah,
I have already. It's a conduct-based regulation.
And second son, you got to turn your mic down. You're fucking blaring.
I'm yelling this because I have a loud voice. I apologize. It's a conduct-based regulation, and that is basically what the different levels of scrutiny. This is why the discretion you're talking about for the officers. Hear me out. The discretion for the officers is only allowable in areas of mere rationality, not strict scrutiny. You see what I mean? They actually have to have some when it comes to these different areas. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
What? There's a rule book on there. Arrest you or not arrest you, dude. You.
Odin, you just can't stop talking over people, can you? I'm out of here.
All right, let me ask you this:
Odin loves me.
If they got arrested for the language, is it because it was what you would be considered rated R language? Because if you've got rated R language in movies, you have the right to take your kid there, but it's your choice. To where there wasn't a choice for kids to be reading that on the sidewalk yesterday. So is that why they got arrested?
What does the law say?
The law says.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
It says something about defacing property being permanent, and chalk is not permanent.
It doesn't say permanent.
What does the Constitution say about freedom of speech and freedom of expression of self?
If you could do that, then why can't kids go into rated R movies where they say fuck and all that other stuff?
Eesh.
Right. Well, guys,
we're worried about their court years.
You guys all have important things to say.
Ow!
Did you guys know that substantive state law is what they have to use even in federal courts when there is a situation like this? Let's say this was to be taken to federal court, right? The court would still have to use the state law. So whatever the Constitution says and the statutes say are the law regarding the subject matter is what they're going to use in that court. So if you go and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was saying basically that Arkansas's Constitution basically says that the people always have the right basically to redress their government in a peaceful way and assemble. I think this is at Article 1, Section 27 of their Bill of Rights, and in Texas, not Arkansas, Texas, excuse me. So the Texas Constitution at Article 1, Section 27 talks about peaceful assembly, and also it doesn't just say just assembling, it says any type of, demonstration or remonstrancing or whatever you want to call it, remonstrating, right? You can do it. Like the chalking thing, it was totally a remonstrance thing. It was
right here.
The chalking. What?
Yeah.
It wasn't the chalking they got arrested for. It was the language.
Well, I disagree. I disagree with that.
If they would have wrote "I love cop" or wrote a rainbow, they wouldn't have got arrested.
I don't think that
Exactly.
actually.
If they would have wrote,
Okay.
if they had not wrote "F the police," they would have never been arrested.
Okay, I got an example. Why aren't the auditors that got arrested going back to the place and saying, cops are great, cops are good, bootlicking type thing?
What's up, Bizzo?
And see if they get arrested again.
Hi, Bizzo.
Right. Or just go up there and write "to hell with the police." Don't go up there and write I'm sorry to say it, but the rated R words that you can't say in front of kids.
What?
I mean, why not just go up there and say, kiss my ass,
the word nigga?
Kiss my ass, cops. I mean, if it wasn't the case, then
Joe Cool wrote Chicago. I thought that was hilarious.
Teresa, you're full right at the moment.
You can pull me back to let Teresa in. Oh, God.
You're going to step out, you said?
Yeah, you can pull me back.
All right.
Can you hear me, Hefe?
I can.
Okay.
Itchy.
What's up, Teresa?
Hello, El Jefe, and the rest of the panel. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Teresa, hello.
Okay. Oh.
What was the final charges that they got charged with?
Criminal mischief.
Criminal mischief.
Mm-hmm.
The cops were just upset because they couldn't act like babies that day. So they decided to arrest those people for baby petty shit.
Did you have a chance to read the statute to everyone here?
Mm-hmm. I did.
So
statute
is this
doesn't
one of
matter,
those
though,
situations
because
where the
The
police
statute
just
wasn't
wanted to
for
get
the
somebody's
language.
attention?
The statute wasn't for
Teresa,
language
Teresa,
or the chalking. It was for the actual marking.
yeah, it's a conduct-based thing. That's what I just said a second ago to everyone.
Oh
And
my
thank you
god.
for confirming it. Thank you.
Patty!
I know it's conduct, it's not language.
Yeah, it's conduct. That's all it is.
Which ones did I
So
open
was it a
already?
Because,
Yeah, Vegas is right.
Did I open these ones?
Teresa, can I just talk to Teresa for a second, you guys?
yeah?
Go ahead.
If Teresa wants to have a dialogue with me, I would like that. Teresa, are you cool for a couple of seconds to talk to me?
Who am I speaking to? Who's speaking to me?
This is Auditron. Jeremiah, aka Second Sun News. What's up?
Go ahead. Yes.
Now you want
I w-
loving, Patty. Now that I'm about to open my snack, you want something.
I was basically saying that it's a conduct-based regulation that they used, right? And this is how they were able to do, this whole arresting thing, because they only have to deal with mere rationality when it comes to the, scrutiny level, of their actions. It's when they do conduct-based regulations and enforcement, it's different. In my opinion, it's different than content-based regulations. If it was a content issue and they were worried about the word fuck, right, then they would have arrested him for that word. You know what I'm saying? And saying that, but instead it was actually the criminal mischief thing having to do with loss of property and stuff like that, inconvenience and stuff like that out there in Texas, but they, so that's exactly what I'm just saying, that it's conduct, not content, and they use a lower level of scrutiny, and this is why they're getting away with it.
Such a bully.
Who is yelling in the background? Can you please stop that?
Could you mute your mic?
Yeah, please mute your mic. I think that might be LF's girlfriend. I could be wrong.
No, it was me.
Okay. Anyways, Teresa, do you have any remarks?
Oh no, I agree with you. I think it was conduct-based and not content-based restriction.
Right.
So basically the cops just wanted to get someone's attention.
Well, I would imagine that they were there to enforce the law. What would you have had them do?
I still don't believe that if they would have not said some
I like what you just
certain
said,
words, they would
Teresa.
have been arrested.
I think it's great that they enforced it, because what that does is put the people into the position of being able to create some case law or something that will be able to redress that particular issue, of conduct versus content.
Right, there actually is case law on this.
I tried to look up case law earlier, and all I found was is they have the right to restrict it on public property.
Right.
But they remember that not all were talking.
Hey,
One was
it's
laying
not-
on the ground and one was holding a piece of chalk.
They
and they
were
arrested all of them.
all four of them. They got arrested because their behavior. Let's put it that way. Their marking or
So laying
it was
on
the
the
behavior.
ground is a behavior.
Well, if you lay in front of a car,
It
that's
was
a behavior.
actually the marking. I think we just clarified that it was the marking.
Tucson Lori, the only thing she did was lay it on the ground and get chalked around.
No, Tucson
that
Lori
was,
was doing the chalking.
Christy.
Hold on, Tucson Lori was doing the chalking of the one lady. The
Yeah.
one lady did it prior to that chalking. They have security cameras. You guys need a right to know act, FOIA, whatever law it is, to get that information.
All right, guys, I got to say to the chat real quick. Everybody who's on the panel is Hot Rod. Who else is Odin, Teresa, and who else? Auditron?
He left, thank God. His mic
Who's
was
in the
loud.
upper right corner? Oh, Marine Vet Mom. All right, go ahead. You guys can keep talking now. Somebody wanted me to mention who's all on there for if they can't see it.
Public records are your friends. If you need help with public records, you got a sweet young lady in here that'll help you with it or walk you through it so you can get it.
Thank you, Odin, for the praises. But you know, the fact of the matter is that it wasn't a secret that chalking in Texas is against the law. That wasn't a secret. You know, that was something that we knew about in Leon Valley. That's the reason that there wasn't chalking there. And so I'm just really surprised that they were out there chalking.
Earl knew about it, and he's supposed to be this great auditor. He should have warned them all.
Then how come they're not? How come they're not doing that with all the other people who use chalk?
Okay, where were they?
Oh.
I don't think it should matter where they are.
Well, it does. It does matter because you know where they were was not a traditional, traditional public forum.
Is a public highway? Can they go out there and chalk?
Well, probably not in the middle of the highway, but I would imagine that they could chalk on the grass, outside maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure they could. Just like they could probably went over to the sidewalks.
Someone else's property, so if you mark on someone else's property, I guess it would depend.
Right.
The best description out there would be MERBs. Can't pick up dog shit from their yard and go up to the person's door and mark it.
How come the other lady who worked there marked on the sidewalk and didn't get arrested?
Point of interest to Teresa R. You mentioned that it's illegal in Texas to sidewalk chalk, right? And now that may be true, right? But it depends on whether or not that conduct was associated with a First Amendment protected activity.
No.
Oh, yeah. Go look. From my analysis of the Constitution of Texas, the people actually have the right. Any person actually has the right, not just the people of Texas, but any person can actually go and redress the government in a way that they deem necessary.
No, they don't get to just deem whatever and do whatever they want to redress.
Okay, well, let me read the language. Let me read it to you.
What if their idea of redressing their government was to shoot a missile at the building? Is that cool?
Well, what if it was?
Cool?
Yeah. It
Okay,
depends.
so
Yeah.
you're saying that's allowed. No, there's time, place, and manner restrictions.
Yeah, it is.
Okay?
And that's exactly the point, right? When do these restrictions become infringements?
Hey, second son, can you do me a favor? Pull the mic away from your mouth a little bit.
No kidding.
God.
He's outside too on his phone, so I think that's part of the problem.
Lucinator, it's not about kids chalking the sidewalk to play hopscotch. It was the objective behind why they were doing the chalking.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I don't think. I don't know that you would have had an arrest if they were writing pro-police stuff there. But the fact of the matter is that they didn't strategize. If they were there to do some sort of, I guess, what do you call it?
Attention getting.
Redress or whatever with their government. It seems like they would have strategized it and say they wanted to redress that particular issue. It seems like they would have strategized it and had some people writing pro-police things and some people writing negative things about the police and see who got arrested.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Here's the way to look at it.
Different stuff, they wouldn't have got arrested, I think.
If you could post it in the press, they wouldn't have been arrested.
Anytime that that there's been any sort of movement that ever made any progress, there was a whole lot of strategy behind the things that they did. They didn't just go and willy-nilly write bad words, and there was a lot of strategy behind every action they took.
What they need to think about is if a local news organization would have come by there, would they have been able to say what they wanted to say as they were writing on the local news? If you couldn't say it on the local news, then why put it on the sidewalk?
Well, you would.
I mean, there's other ways to get attention than having to say the F word.
You could have held a sign.
Exactly.
And the sign's not illegal, so.
Right.
But I don't think anybody that was out there writing, even if they wrote a derogatory term or a four-letter word on the sidewalk, I don't think that their intention was to, corrupt children or corrupt elderly people. You know what I mean? The idea is you do a First Amendment expression, you make your point, and then it's over. But instead, their expression got turned violation. Okay, that's the problem that I'm having with what happened in Rockwall.
Hey, second son, can you do me a favor? Pull the mic.
I'll help you.
Pull your mic away from your mouth a little bit, because you're like yelling, and it's like mind.
It's so. Let me try. I have to take that one earbud out in order to make it happen. Is that better?
A little.
Is that better? Can you hear me? Okay.
That's better right there.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Cool. Sorry about that, guys. Yep.
You were coming in all distorted. You're like,
yeah, that sucks.
So the intent
Sorry
of the
about
law isn't to stifle people's speech. I believe the intent of the law is to protect people's property. And so, they still have the ability to speak in other ways. They could have held signs. They brought a ton of signs with them, but they used chalk. And in Texas, that's against the law.
Hell, they could have wore a shirt.
Excuse me, sir, if you don't mind. She's making intelligent comments, and if you want to respond to it, that's awesome. But let's listen to what Teresa has to say. It's pretty smart, okay? And like, instead of sitting here making sarcastic remarks, how about having a discourse, of some intelligence? So this way we can actually get somewhere with this. I'm just saying, Teresa, I appreciate what you said, about the fact that you think that they could have done it a different way. But it's just like filming in public. No, I don't think any one of us on the stream is for a mass surveillance society. We don't want mass surveillance. But we do it, we record in public because we know that this is going to have an effect that will keep it's about transparency, you know what I mean? And also the people stepping up to redress their government. And it's not just available under the U.S. Constitution, but also under most state constitutions too. Wouldn't you agree, Teresa?
I don't really have a problem with people chalking, and I've always thought that was kind of a neat way for people to express themselves. But I understand that it's the law in Texas, and I guess if I wanted to do something about it, I would have taken a different approach, and that's all. That's really all that because I understand what the law is there in Texas. I've read through the statute, and I think that it's probably going to be legal, and I think that the only way that they're going to be able to challenge it is if they can prove that it's being, I guess, disproportionately enforced, and that's going to take a whole lot of doing now that no one over there wrote anything pro-cop to not get arrested about, if you know what I mean. So I'm just saying there's a whole lot of strategy behind changing things whenever you're going to engage in civil disobedience. And you don't want to just go out there and start civil disobediencing when you don't have a leg to stand on in court, if you know what I mean. So that's the problem that I have with it. I would have liked to have seen them going out there and warned them all. That would have been nice. I would have, honestly, that's my whole point here is I would have really loved to have seen someone that knew that was a crime to have warned them. And there were people there that knew and didn't warn them. And the police used their discretion because they weren't too happy with things. And that's the way it went. So, there's a lot of people to blame. Well, not just the police.
But Teresa, look, the Constitution of Arkansas at Section 29 says that any law is going to be void that basically conflicts with any of the previous constitutional provisions. And when you go up in the Bill of Rights, you can see that some of the protections, right, actually include persons, not just citizens, but persons even from other states, to be able to come out there, right, exercise their First Amendment guarantees and not be prosecuted by state statutes or court, or any type of regulation that might infringe on that. That's evident in their Bill of Rights. So you said it's illegal, and I'm trying to say, how can you prove that it's illegal just because they have a statute?
Well, I can tell you that there's Supreme Court case law around it. So I don't think that they're going to have any problem with it because it is not content restrictive. It is based on, you know, their actions and not what they were saying.
Yeah, but you have to remember that the expression, I think Miller versus U.S. says you can't convert a constitutional right into a crime. And so we deal with the issue of timing, right? I keep coming back to it
Deal
because
with the
it's
issue of time, place,
timing.
and manner. Time, place, and manner. Those are restrictions that can be placed on your First Amendment right.
No, those are restrictions on the government, not on my rights. Hells no. Where did you get that idea?
I think that's where you're mistaken. The government can restrict your First Amendment rights based on time, place, and manner. I mean, obviously, you've read the case law, right? I mean, you understand that freedom of speech is, I mean, you know, you're supposed to be able to speak freely and people aren't supposed to stifle you, but there are some limits to that, right? You understand that. There are some limits.
For private people, yeah, but not for government redress.
I'm gonna go back to redressing your government with, you know, shooting a missile at City Hall. You know, you can't just do anything you want to redress your government. And you couldn't go up there to the steps of that courthouse and you couldn't write in dog shit. You know, and so you can't write in chalk either. So I mean it's conduct based and not content.
Well, how about this then? Instead of arguing this point anymore, because I think we've reached a point of, I don't know, how do you say this? What is this? We can't agree. But I'll tell you one thing. Let me ask you this. What do you think about them using this, you know, this authority, the police power authority, right, for the general welfare of the citizens, right? This is what they used to arrest the auditors. And not just that, but they also attached a monetary value to it of $750 for punishment. Do you agree with the Arkansas Constitution that says basically that they don't have to be indicted, they don't have to have information, they can be held in captivity just because they have punishment by way of fine? And so that's, I mean, even though that their own constitution states that they can't punish, they can't hold them in prison for debt. That's Section 18 of the Texas Constitution Declaration of Rights. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting that there's this debt amount. There's all kinds of violations by Texas. When was the last time, Teresa, you looked at their Declaration of Rights or Bill of Rights?
Let me just tell you that their Bill of Rights, you might want to mute your mic when you're not speaking. There's a lot of wind behind you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
If the Bill of Rights in Texas includes, you know, the freedom to speak or freedom of speech, it's going to be restricted the same as, you know, other states because of the Supreme Court cases that go along with that. So, you know, there, like I said, time, place, and manner restrictions. The government can do that.
So what was wrong with the time, place, and manner that they were at the other day? Because it was open for business, it was in business hours, and it was public property. So,
well, I would have loved to have seen them all carrying a bunch of signs and yelling and, you know, maybe even using some of those little speakers to play music or whatever they wanted to do with regards to that. But what they were doing with the chalk is not legal in Texas. And so I would have, if they were going to challenge that law, I would have liked to have seen them be more organized with the challenge.
But didn't you say earlier, and this is a thing that I've heard mentioned a couple times, if they were writing pro-police stuff in the chalk, they wouldn't have gotten arrested?
I didn't say that. I said we don't know that because they weren't organized enough to have done that.
Okay, I'm just clearing that up because I've actually heard that before. If they had been, there probably wouldn't have been no arrest, which means it all came down to the words.
It could,
and then they did do the signs later.
You know, and you got to be able to prove that in court, and you can't prove that in court because there wasn't anybody writing any pro-police things. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I wish they would have been more organized. Yeah, hey, you want to challenge the law? That's great. You want to challenge it with civil disobedience? That's great, but it needs to be organized.
Teresa, I see Jeff Gray using signs all the time. instead of like chalking or anything like that. And I've seen him get arrested illegally for it, but you would recommend doing it like that then, obviously.
Well, I mean, they were wearing T-shirts. They had signs. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would. I would, especially. I mean, research the law. There's some places where you can do it and you can get away with it, and that's
Yeah.
great. Maybe those places they've challenged it in ways. Maybe the law that they had that restricted it wasn't. Based on the actions of a person. That was based on the contents of the word. I don't know.
I remember seeing a video a couple of years ago when they were chalking outside a police station and they were arrested, and I think they got their charges quashed in the end because it wasn't permanent. But like you said, Texas is different. You're saying, isn't it?
Right, because the way they've written their law, it's based on the actions and not what's being written. And so, I mean, the only way that you could challenge it as being, I guess, enforced, being enforced discriminately is to have maybe written some pro-police things, but that wasn't done. And, I think whenever you take actions like this where you expect that there may be some arrests, that, you need to be very strategic.
AGK Banks got a good question. Why don't auditors all come together, go to the ACLU, and get auditors on a board, like forming a union, and let the ACLU handle all of our cases? Okay, Odin, what's your opinion on that? You're laughing.
Most auditors aren't in it for changing anything. There's a couple out there wanting to change laws and stuff, but a good 40% of them want clicks and views.
Okay, so say the 40% go to get in a union and let the ACLU handle it to get change. I mean, is that a thing? Is that something that can be done?
Is it possible? Anything's possible, but I don't see it happening.
Why not?
When you got one bad seed in the bunch, it terminates all the others.
But isn't that how change starts?
Give me a second.
Hold on, that's
Chiesa, do you rate the ACLU then?
What was that? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
That was for Teresa.
It's Teresa. Does she rate the ACLU then?
Do I what?
Do you rate them? Because I've watched videos again where some people say the ACLU are pointless.
Well, the ACLU
in controversial cases. Sorry, more like
they're a little picky with the cases that they take, and so they're not. It's not always easy to find representation through the ACLU. I wouldn't count on
for
them.
like auditors work, I suppose.
Right, I wouldn't. You don't want to depend on the ACLU. No offense to
Diver said it's been tried. NAIR. NAIR. You said that's been tried.
And what's the problem with NAIR? Who do they have in there?
I have no idea about NAIR, so I don't even know what's up with that.
I'll be right back here in a second. I'm going to get my boots on.
Yeah.
They had a bad seed in there.
Well, the problem I think with organizing, I think the problem with organizing auditors is that they're very individual people. Each one of them has their own individual style and their own individual issues that they like to deal with. You've got Nasty Nathaniel that likes to deal with the Scientology people, and me, I like to deal with public records. You have other people that deal with other things. So,
alrighty.
It's very individualized.
Yeah, his catchphrase, doesn't he? Nasty Nathaniel. What is it now? His catchphrase.
All right.
All right. I would say all righty. I knew it was wrong. Sorry. Yeah. All right.
I like coloring with chalk.
Well, like Nasty Nathaniel, he doesn't go out of his way to get contact. It just happens. He gets it. He gets it. He doesn't.
He's very polite.
Yeah.
He's very polite. As auditors go, he normally spells out the law without lots of sort of taking the piss out of the not informed security guard, etc.
Yeah. You got to remember, you're being judged by a jury of your peers. You got to make yourself look better than you are the person you're trying to record.
Mm-hmm.
You look like candy, and the other guy looks like turd. Which one do you think they're going to go to?
See, I think they had their thing together I mean, they were organized when it came to the signs and stuff that they did after everybody was out. Back when Otto was arrested a couple months ago, standing at the intersection holding a sign, he got arrested for that because of what the sign said. They did it again at the exact same place, probably about the same time of day. And one of the auditors that was there actually called the cops, complained, and we're basically told there's nothing they can do. It's their First Amendment right. It doesn't matter how offensive the language is. Well, that just shot their whole case against Otto of what he got arrested for.
It should, for sure.
Well,
Absolutely.
their case against Otto for holding that sign was shot from the beginning, and so
Yeah.
if he would have just waited and been patient, they would have had to drop that case anyway, and he could have filed a lawsuit, and he wouldn't have had all this other trouble.
Yep.
I mean, and that would have been probably a win-win for him. So I hate to see what's happened, and I know those arrests and things like that can really upset you when it happens. It can really make you furious and you want to strike back and you want to fire missiles at City Hall, but you got to
if you
think
lose
those
your
things
head.
through, and you got to be real strategic.
Yep.
And then especially because he lost his kids over it too.
They think he gets kids. They really took his kids?
Teresa.
Yeah, how they
Oh my God.
no running water while camping. What the
I guess they're right here in roll the
I don't know.
They got to do it.
Anyways, Teresa, I was trying to tell you something about the rights of the citizens to basically do what they want to do in Texas regarding the changing of their government. If they want to reform it, they have the absolute right to do it in the way that they deem necessary. But I mean, it's not one person, like you said. One person can't come in with missiles and start shooting at City Hall and expect to get the whole body politic behind them. I apologize for my language and yelling, but it's just like, I understand what you're saying. However, the people could do what they wanted to, you know what I mean? On the basis of the constitutional grounds, they wouldn't have to sit there and rely on statutes that came out of the legislature of Texas. Just saying. Unless, of course, statutes take precedence over constitutional law. If that's your belief, then yeah, maybe you're right.
Well, get yourself enough people together and see how many it takes to overthrow the government. It's going to take a whole lot more than 4 people out there chalking.
Yeah, I'm ready to need Hong Kong.
No one's even talking about. That's not the intent, though. So don't even go there. That's not our intent.
But I understand what you're saying. If the people in Texas got upset enough and they wanted to overthrow their government and there was enough of them, they sure could do it any way they wanted to. I don't have any doubt about that. I agree with you. I think that could happen. I mean, if people got upset, it's happened in the United States before. That's how we became a country. So, I don't doubt if you get enough people on your side. But again, you got to have enough people on your side.
Trust you lot to bring up the Civil War with the Brits, eh?
I forgot we had someone from over the pond in here.
Yeah, it's all right. It's cool.
I keep trying to let William on, and his connection isn't right for some reason.
I'll bounce off if you want me to. No problem.
No, we have enough people right now. Auditron keeps trying to get back on, but for some reason, Auditron, you there?
He's in there.
I think if William kills the video, he might have a little bit better easier time, with the connection.
Yeah, he's got the background going in as well.
Yeah, I heard the echo going.
Standard.
Hey, hello to Across the Pond. Hello to Lee Watch also, and we can hear you good, Rays.
Yeah, Auditron.
Yep. And New York, Odin.
No.
What's up, man? I'm not in
what
there.
is
I'm
your
right here in the
question?
entrance.
I'm trying to find the question.
Go use your phone outside, please.
Wilma, you had a question. What was it? I keep looking for it, but I can't find it.
If you need to move somebody back, you can move me back for William.
All right, hey, I'm gonna take off for a minute and I'll come back in a bit. But I'm listening to you guys. Appreciate your input, Teresa. You got a lot of smart things to say, and I love people from across the pond input. El Jefe, thank you, man. I'm gonna keep it moving. Thank you.
All right.
Later. Yeah.
Yeah, William hasn't come back yet. So.
Well, I was really disappointed to see anybody get arrested there. No, I would have rather seen it been peaceful and no one get arrested.
Right. Yeah, that would have been made it so much better.
Well, it would have probably made it a boring day, but it would have been a lot less stressful for everybody.
Right.
Then they would have had nothing to do overnight.
You don't think they would arrest him if they got out the signs at the courthouse?
No, I don't.
Oh, they left him alone on the side of the highway, so at that intersection.
Right, that was surprising to me.
Well, I think that people are learning to respect that the auditing community is just speaking freely. And as long as they don't do anything that pushes the limits of the law, they don't get arrested. I mean, Chris's audits here in Knoxville show that.
I try to keep it civil and peaceful unless they come at me sideways.
I always say it should be your number one goal to not get arrested. And so you need to do your very best to not get arrested because it's so expensive to get arrested. You got to bond out. You got to hire a lawyer. And then there's motions and there's no telling how much it'll end up costing you if you really have to fight something that's, that someone's wronged you with. And
how
never
long
get that
it's gonna
money back.
take.
That's right. And the stress. And it really is, it's stressful because once all of the video dies down and you're all by yourself facing that, it is you. You face those charges, you face that time in jail, you face those fines, you face it. Not the rest of the people that are watching your videos. It's you.
Sorry.
No, carry on.
To me, a good audit and a good auditor is where the auditor don't get arrested, and if they find somebody that's forcing the law the wrong way, they catch it, they get out, and they do the background work if need to.
I think we're all good auditors. We just have different ways of doing it.
I was just going to say that I remember seeing a couple of years ago, Teresa, your one on a township called Welsh or Welshie or something like that you had loads of contact with, a middle-aged brunette woman that you had lots of grief from.
Stephanie.
What was the township called again?
And that's Welsh. Yeah, the township of Welsh. And Stephanie, Stephanie was eventually let go that summer, very quietly, after they did the auditor came in and looked at the books and stuff, and they got everything sorted out, and everything's doing a whole lot better there.
Yeah, and nothing added up, did it?
The problem was, I don't know if anybody remembers, but I had seen a news report where somebody from town was complaining that there was a separate account for these police funds. So the police were getting 70% of some fines, some sort of fines or something, some sort of percentage of some fines. And I know that they can't do that, and I wasn't sure how they were getting away with doing it. So I wanted to look and see how they were doing it. And but that's what was happening, is that they were putting money in the wrong funds and they were paying for things out of tax funds that they shouldn't have been.
Was there something about drains being laid as well? Outdoor drains? Was there anything to do with that?
No, that's the city of Rain. And, those are just little typical things that happen in small towns and stuff. But yeah, the mayor there had ordered a bunch of culverts, about $2,000 worth of culverts to have installed in his yard.
And the council boys installed it, didn't they, on private property or something like that?
Well, yeah, the city has a program there where they'll come in and install those culverts for you because of their drainage. They have a drainage program there where they'll do it for you so that it's laid right and it's to the
Yeah.
engineer specifications, but you have to buy the pipe. And that was the issue, was that the pipe was billed to the city.
Ah, right. It's nice, isn't it? Nice for
Yeah.
some.
Yeah, and I caught it and then they tried to hide
Get
it.
that,
And
Heffy?
But
Yeah, I got
sometimes small, quiet change is big, important change. You don't have to get arrested to make big, important change.
Yeah.
They're currently, I think maybe I don't think it's this year, but maybe next year. I think they have an election there in Welsh, and so we're going to see how the mayor does. And I heard that she's running for re-election, so I want to see. I know she has someone that's going to run against her. I want to see how she does this year after everything that's happened, because they had all just been elected when all of that stuff happened.
Is that down in Louisiana with you?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is that in Louisiana with you?
Yeah, Welsh is just about 20 miles from here.
Nice.
Is Louisiana stop on ID?
It is. It is a stop and ID state. Yes.
I know all these crazy facts.
Have
It's
to
all
have
from
reasonable
it's all from auditing. It's all from auditing. Watching auditing videos. I don't know why I knew that.
El Jefe, you should go to Louisiana and
Teresa,
audit with Teresa.
Teresa, somebody's got a question in the chat for you. I'm going to put it up on screen.
Sorry about that, old Jefe.
I think Otto put a big old spotlight on himself, and I hate that for him and his children, because I think maybe he probably would have gotten away with camping with his children that night if he hadn't had a big old spotlight on his head. The last thing that I want to see is anybody's children in foster care or, taken away from their parents, no matter really, if they're not in danger or they're not being abused. I don't think I have a right to tell people how to raise their children, So I hate that for him. I really do. And I'd like to see, their family be, reunited.
Right. I think that's the worst thing that happened so far. I mean, definitely.
Was this about 18 months ago, 12 months ago?
It wasn't even that long ago, I don't think.
Was he in the middle of he was
2 months, 2 months or 3 months ago.
Oh no, I've seen something a while ago. No, ignore that.
What's up, Chris?
So they took his kids off him, did they? Obviously.
Yeah.
That's a shit. That'll be a shit show now to get the kids back, won't it? It'll be just fucking. Oh fuck.
Well, hopefully the charges will get dropped and he can get them back. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the thing about the camping is I think they charged him with 1 or 2 counts of child endangerment. And so that was the issue, and that's the issue that he's having to face now,
I heard they only charged him with 1 count, even though both kids were there.
Maybe 1, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2.
That doesn't make sense because they should have charged him with 2 counts if both kids were there.
I'm a therapist and I work with endangered families all the time, and I see some amazingly horrific things and children that are abused in ways that I don't even want to remotely describe. And then I've watched it in 3 different states. Family or the state try and reunite children with their parents. And I mean, maybe there's more to this story that I don't know about, but for them to take away children from a parent in this situation, I'm just flabbergasted. I just don't understand. When I see what I see on a regular basis, I don't even remotely. I just don't get it.
It was definitely a fucked up situation.
There's a big scandal over here in the UK about forced adoption, where social services are getting paid basically extra for getting kids to be taken away from the parents.
That's how I feel about CPS down here. It's child per profit.
Yeah, I've watched obviously a few videos with CPS as well, and it seems to mirror what I see over here.
It's not even child for profit here. I see parents that literally have their rights reinstated after they go through a few classes and are sober for a very short period of time, and they've done horrific things to their children, and then and the children are in stable homes in stable condition, and they've been traumatized by these parents, and then they're replaced with the parents, or they are never placed with anybody, and they move from system to system to system. It's just a very broken system, and then this man is being charged with basically endangering his children because he took them camping, and he didn't really do anything wrong. It's just another injustice. It's just another piece of evidence that our system is broken here in the United States. And I don't know. That's why I support Chris in his auditing, I don't know, career or auditing movement, is because we have a broken system here in the United States. Sorry, that's my soapbox.
It is. It does seem like sometimes the really bad parents don't have any trouble getting their children back, and the ones that you feel bad for the most just can't ever seem to get their kids, back again. I understand what you're saying, and I do. I mean, there's obviously issues with it.
And some people that don't deserve their kids back get them back pretty easily too.
I watch it all the time.
I'm getting so confused. How many women are in this panel?
Sorry.
It's me and my girlfriend are talking on mine, and then Teresa.
Oh.
No, just how Hefe is changing his voice to female every once in a while.
It's my alter ego.
I mean, Teresa's mic is muted, but I can. Okay, there you are. I'm like, what the hell? There's nobody talking.
I'm off to the side.
You see words, but you don't see any lip movement.
Oh, Jeffy. Oh, Jeffy, you just got to train your lips to move every time your girlfriend talks.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you're killing me. Put the H in his name, not the A, not the J.
It's their thing.
It's the misses in the background.
No, they're talking about my name.
Can I bring up a subject about America? Actually, I brought it up on a live stream earlier on my mate's live stream about this UPS shootout. No. This UPS shit show, this Wild West fucking shit show that I watched the other day about where they seem to slaughter a UPS driver and some civilians, or one civilian on top of that. I just want to know your opinions.
Man, that was crazy, huh?
Fuck.
I thought I saw a message about that earlier, happening in Florida, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Oh man, have you not seen? So, Teresa, have you seen this?
I didn't really watch any of the footage, but I heard a lot about it.
Go to Philip Turner's page. He's got a good 5-minute clip. I can never spell his channel name. I just know his name.
I think it's Battousai.
Oh, I got no chance. I'm simple Welsh. Philip Turner. Honestly, it's shocking what I watched. You could hear the whistles. It was like Afghanistan. There was someone video recording off a cell phone about 200 meters away, and you could hear the bullets whizzing past and ricocheting past. You've seen it on lens ricocheting past. They fired hundreds of rounds,
High Impact Vlogs has it too. UPS shootout. I've got it sitting there. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Okay,
Yeah,
was the
well,
driver shooting or was he a
so
hostage?
it's an armed robbery gone wrong. They hijacked a UPS lorry and the driver. There was shots fired, I believe, but they've been driving around for ages. There's like 50 vehicles behind it, and he stopped in traffic. It was like 8 lanes, and as he stopped, police got out their cars and just started firing. The whole truck is literally got holes in it. The whole truck. It's a complete. And the driver come out the passenger side, hands splayed open, and they slaughtered him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a
Yeah, I
28-minute video, or I'd say play it.
I
in
didn't
here.
No.
Yeah,
Go
but
on
I had
Philip
heard it was.
Turner's.
I had
5
heard it was.
minutes.
Huh?
Go on Philip Turner's page.
Fuck Philip Turner, fucking bastard.
Oh, I don't know.
Fuck
You
that
know,
piece of shit.
Well, he
Well,
said
it's
it's
good
on High
content.
Impact too. So if you want to see it there, you can see it on High Impact. But I'm sure you could Google it.
I'll watch it off Teresa's any day, but not those two.
I don't know.
All right, what's your problem with Turner?
They have
Because-
issues with people getting hijacked. These UPS trucks getting hijacked here every year for Christmas. Every year. We had one last year. They hijacked the whole truck and found it, I don't know, 20 miles away or
I
something.
prefer my truck hijacked than the police turn up to try and free me. Christ, more chance of surviving.
Last year they had the police following all of the UPS trucks and stuff around.
Damn.
After that hijacking when.
Well, when I spoke to my mates on the live stream, one of my mates mentioned in Manchester, in England, they have the police follow the Securitas or G4S. We get over here.
Yes.
And they're following them around in their trucks. And the way I described it was, so we're providing for private security for a corporate company. And my mate was going, yeah. And I was like, yeah, exactly. I said, the thing is, they charge the football team when they got to police the game. That's what happens in Britain. They charge the football team. So why can't they? You know what I mean? Not charge them, but they should get their own security. It's like we're providing security for a private company.
You know what they do though is they'll have people that'll order high, dollar things or whatever, whatever, and then they'll just hijack the whole truck and steal everything, and then the package never came in, so they don't have to pay for it, if you know what I mean, and they can steal all the stuff, and they kind of know what's on the truck.
Right.
But
Kind of brilliant if you think about it.
Your police and our police shouldn't pay for private company security.
No, you're right, and probably I would imagine that if it, something that starts really costing the police money or whatever, they'll probably start charging them or figure out a way to be able to charge them for it, if you know what I mean.
I mean, one thing I have noticed in America, you don't seem to be short of police in America. Where in the UK, we're short of police. So,
Hey, Peachy.
Too many police here.
Yeah, I mean, just look at a normal police chase. We haven't even got that much police in the fucking whole city, and you seem to have them all behind one car.
Well, I heard it's getting bad over in the UK, though. I mean, they're starting to act up.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful in the UK at the moment, to be honest with you. But that's a completely different story. We're surrounded by governments that like to release terrorists who then commit another terrorist attack while on tag, kill 2 people. I think I said it the other day, I can't see how America would allow terrorists to leave after 7 years and then commit another terrorist attack within 6 months and kill another 2 people. But in Britain, this seems to be what happens now. But there you go.
You guys, I'm going to hop off now. We're fixing to eat dinner here, so it was really lovely talking with you, and thanks for having me on your panel, El Jefe.
All right, Teresa, have a great dinner.
Good
Nice
evening,
one.
Teresa.
Nice
What
one.
is Teresa's channel?
Teresa R.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't find that though. No, I found a couple of them actually.
I'm not really sure what her icon is. Maybe somebody can find it in the chat and put it
It's
up.
like a cartoon. It's like a cartoon figure, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Teresa R though. If you put in Teresa R, it should come up.
Yeah, it should.
Capital.
Yeah, there's quite a few Teresa R's actually.
Put in Welsh County Hall or something, because that's one of her most hit YouTube clips, I think.
If you put Teresa R auditing, it'd probably come up.
Yeah. I think it's Welsh spelt with a C instead of an S. If that doesn't work, try that.
Welsh what?
That was one of her biggest, I think, hits. One of her funniest ones, anyway.
What was the name of it?
I think it was called Welsh. Some I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it was Welsh.
County.
Just put in auditing. I'm sure it'll come up.
Was that when
No,
he was with News Now
there's
Houston?
townships in Louisiana. Townships, not right.
No, it was when she was independent, I think.
Is that Mrs. Hefe?
Yeah,
I'll find it. I'll find it and put in the link if you want me to.
I might have to thieve him for about a week.
Yeah, I told her. He's the one that's going to take me cross country.
Well, you're Pam.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
Right? If that's not the case, I'll be staying home.
No, I got it. I mean, we may sleep in a car, but a couple nights, but we'll be all right.
Hey, he can sleep in a car, tent, backpacking.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Hey, maybe we could upgrade a little bit, maybe, and get something with the bed in the back.
Either a van or something that we could.
I think like Enterprise does campers. Like there's
Well, I was thinking like an Escalade or something.
whatever.
Well, not that expensive, maybe, but something like that where you just lay the seats down.
I found her.
That would be cool.
The icon's a bikini shot.
Is it?
Yep. Or brown panty set.
We get a camper Hefe. We're going to go on that one little road where we're by the ocean.
Peachy, you're not going to get even mad. It's we're just having conversation. That's all. New Jersey Diver put up her link. Yeah, I'm not going to be on much longer. Yeah, I just wanted to bring up this chalk stuff because it really bugs me. Oh, Teresa said that's the headless girl.
I was hoping FTP was going to be on here.
I saw it type in the room. I just got to find it now, and I can hit the 3 dots.
FTP doesn't usually come to my channel. He comes every once in a while.
Well, that's his picture right there.
Where?
That chalk that I got pictured.
Oh, yeah.
That's the chalk he bought. I said, man, it looks like a fireworks thing you'd buy on the 4th of July or something of chalk.
What's up, JTL, Tom, Chad?
You guys been supporting unicorns?
Yeah, I don't think anyone was saying that Otto was a bad father. He got railroaded.
I'm talking about the state.
Oh, yeah, the state thinks he's a bad. Yeah, the state's going to get wrong.
I mean,
kids back. I
know,
totally
but it's like he's got to go through this whole big fight, and it's like he's got videos. You guys got more footage of him than any other father in America.
And it's because what Teresa said, because he was in the spotlight, and they wanted to make an example of him, and that's,
he said
that's what it is.
Yeah, but she said that he put himself in the spotlight. No. Them cops did when they broke his rights the first time.
Well, no matter who put in the spotlight. He was in the spotlight, and that's what the cops. I mean, the cops were just using that against him.
Maybe he should have been like super careful because he's a target, really, isn't he? And that's the problem when you put the camera in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, it would have happened to anybody in that situation, and just because it turned out to be Otto, it just sucked.
Yeah,
I mean, he was out in a dark area. I mean, how was you know what I mean?
I'm sure I've seen this video. I'm sure. Is he in a pickup with his young kids, and it's really dark, and they turn up the police with guns and flashlights?
Yeah,
that's months ago. That didn't it?
Yeah, it was a couple months ago. You said something earlier about 12 months ago, but it was only months.
That was he was talking about the other one, though. I thought he was talking about the first arrest.
Oh, I didn't know about the first arrest.
That was in a pickup in the middle of nowhere as well. Oh,
no,
that
I
was
was
the
talking about
first time.
I thought you was talking about the shit is fucked up and stuff.
No, he was
His arrest with the signs when he threw himself on the ground.
That was crazy too, because they slapped the sign right out of his hands.
Well, and that's what's going to get thrown out of court because of what they did yesterday.
Yeah, because of Eric's video.
Yep.
So funny though.
That was a genius video Eric did. I cannot.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
he's a clever man in a way, isn't he?
This weekend was genius.
Like with him doing that video and them calling and saying, "Oh, there's nothing we can do. It's First Amendment." That should throw his case right out, right there.
Yeah, take that video into court and it's over.
Yep. And that's awesome for Otto too, because that's just one less thing he's gonna have to worry about now.
And I keep hearing all this stuff about auditors and all this stuff. You know what I think it has become? It's become a bunch of friends, pretty much, that live across America from each other. We'd like to get together every once in a while. I mean, and we want to be left alone. That's what it almost boils down to most of the time.
Hey, ADK, Eric made a video when they were all in Texas about he was calling to complain about the people holding the signs in Texas, and the cops literally said on video that they can't do nothing about it. It's their First Amendment right. And that helps Otto's case. Peachy's saying they won't use that in court. Even if they don't, they can still have their lawyer fight that. I don't think they need the video. They just need to know that they said that.
Yeah.
That was still brilliant of Eric to do. Brilliant.
I bet that dismount was nice.
Who made the phone call?
Liberty Freak.
Yeah.
Like Eric's brilliant. He's a genius for real. I mean, people say he's not, but he's definitely.
It took me a while. It took me a while, to be honest with you, but I get him now. I love his bare feet thing as well on the buses.
Eccentric. That's the word I would use for him. Eccentric.
When I figured out that he did the 23 years in the Navy, and then he's like, "What the heck was I fighting for? For no freedom."
I couldn't walk around with no shoes, man. I'd be cringing after an hour.
Or flip flops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell he does it out in Colorado.
Yeah. Give it 20 minutes. Give it 20 minutes. You'd be like socks, shoes, the lot.
Long, he probably doesn't feel it anymore.
The bare feet wouldn't bug me as much as the freaking flip flops.
No, I hate putting things between my toes.
Every time I see him in his flip flops, I want to rip them off of him.
Yeah, I can.
Does he ever wear socks with them?
No.
I can wear socks with sandals, but not flip flops. I just can't wear flip flops at all.
I love Not Now, Maybe Later, like he's my brother, but every time he says my flip flops, I want to strangle him.
Just makes your feet feel weird.
Got something between your toes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you're in your bare feet and you're walking through your backyard and a stick gets in between your toes, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, but we're talking about when Otto got arrested for holding that sign before. And Eric's video will help Otto because he got arrested for vulgar language on a sign.
You know, regardless of anything, even the sidewalk chalk crap that happened, I think this weekend it was the biggest weekend that we've ever had as an activist community.
I mean, when we all went to Oklahoma, that was good too.
This weekend way busted that one out. I just the way
people came together.
It was the whole, even the ones that didn't make it were still. I mean, and everybody got along. There wasn't no bickering for once. Everybody was on one thing.
I wish I was there.
Well, we could have been.
What's up,
Almost.
Two. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna hop off of here. Appreciate your guys'
glad you did it
to this channel.
I hope you guys been supporting unicorns.
What's that?
Make sure you guys support your unicorns.
Oh yeah.
Unicorns?
Nice one.
Cops.
Nice one, boys. Nice one.
We keep unicorns in the kitchen.
You guys be good.
Take it easy, Heavy.
All right, guys. See ya. All right, guys. Thank you for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your DJ.